Hey everyone, Chell here with Prismatic Powders. If you've ever felt like powder coating comes with a few extra battles, you're not alone. But your booth, that shouldn't be one of them. In this video, we're going to talk about a few things that you should know to prepare your booth for battle. So let's break it down. The three biggest factors you need to dial in are airflow, temperature, and humidity. Airflow can give you some serious headaches in achieving a good finish. Trouble is, it's invisible. That is until you watch your powder behavior. So use this to your advantage. If the filtration is too strong or uneven, it can actually pull your powder away from your parts and straight into the filters. This is not ideal. But at least you can see it when it happens. So don't coat this way. It's a waste of powder, time, and money. If you have weak filtration, you're gonna know about it because you will be in the cloud, kind of like Pigpen from Charlie Brown, which has all its own problems. Your goal should be smooth, consistent airflow that supports even coverage without stealing your powder. If you have the means, adjust the power of your filtration system. For some of you, this is as simple as adjusting a box fan from behind your filters. For others, you can just adjust it at a control panel. The other things that you can do, make adjustments to the doors on your booth if you have them, opening or closing them, whatever it takes to get the vacuum to an acceptable level. You can also move closer or farther away from your filters. Closer is going to increase the pull of powder to the filter, and of course, increasing your distance from the filters will decrease that pull. Your powder cloud is going to tell you what you need to know about your airflow, and it's up to you to make any needed adjustments. Now, let's talk temp. Your booth should be sitting somewhere between 65 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's too cold, your powder cloud won't hold a charge as well. And this, my friends, can create poor transfer efficiency. If it's too hot, that powder might clump up and stop flowing properly, which leads to spitting, surging, and thus uneven coating. So keep an eye on those temps and regulate as needed. And finally, humidity. This one is sneaky. The biggest issue with high humidity levels is that your powder will absorb moisture. If your humidity creeps above 60%, bad things start to happen and you'll start to get some adverse reactions. As the powder absorbs moisture, it can affect the finish, make it clump, which will make it harder to fluidize. It can even degrade the charge in the powder cloud as you're coating, which means less sticking and more frustration. So step one, make sure you store your powder in a place that is protected from high heat and humidity, and get yourself a little digital hygrometer, or hygrometer if you're across the pond. These will give you a temp and humidity reading, which is really useful information and will help you troubleshoot and rectify any issues in your coating environment. For example, let's say you live in Florida or Texas or some other muggy climate. You don't need to move, but you may need a dehumidifier that is suitable for the space that you're operating in. A hygrometer will give you the information that you need to know about your booth conditions so you know what to do about them. All right, to wrap things up here, remember, an ideal booth condition is going to be 65 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit with a 40 to 60% humidity level. That sweet spot gives you the best shot at achieving a great finish, but most importantly, it's something that you can monitor and control so you can avoid confusing problems with your finish or application. For some of you, weather can affect your booth conditions, so beware. And if your booth condition wanders a little bit outside of this range, don't worry, the world's not going to end, but you may begin to experience some issues that get tricky to diagnose. And the further outside that range you go, the worse it gets. So keep your bases covered in your booth and make your life easier. Point is, if your booth isn't dialed, you're fighting an uphill battle, but now you've got the info to win. That's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one.